New Mexico lawmakers had 60 days to propose and debate bills to make our state better. And among the bills they did pass was one to make the tortilla our official state bread.
And if you're there at home wondering why lawmakers spent their limited time debating a bill like that, well, so too is Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham.
She vetoed that bill today, along with more than a dozen others, and she sent lawmakers a pretty strong message.
Our Griffin Rushton covered the bulk of the legislative session for us and has some numbers to share with us tonight.
Yeah, I sure do, Trevor. Today was the deadline for Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham to sign or veto bills approved by state lawmakers, and that means we finally know how effective this year's legislative session was. State lawmakers introduced 1,182 total bills over the course of the 60-day session. Only 195 of those bills made it up to the governor's desk, and she signed 160 of them into law. That's only 13% of all the bills introduced this year, and that's a step down from the last 60-day session in 2023, when 19% of all the bills introduced became law. Now, we've already told you about most of the bills the governor signed, so let's talk about the bills she's not signing. The governor directly vetoed 18 bills this year, including proposals expanding income tax credits to low-income New Mexicans, creating a new state park in southern New Mexico, expanding reporting requirements for lobbyists, and of course, that tortilla bill. In her veto message, the governor said, "In a time of extraordinary challenges, New Mexicans need discipline and urgency from their elected officials. What they received this session was far too often the opposite." She criticized lawmakers for running out of time to get to certain bills, adding, "In the final hours of the session and in the wake of a mass shooting in Las Cruces that went unacknowledged by House leadership, the House found time to debate the merits of a state bread." Now, the governor provided an explanation for all of those directly vetoed bills, but she doesn't have to, and it looks like she won't for the other 12 bills sitting on her desk. That will just simply die without her signature. That is called a pocket veto, and New Mexico voters will get to decide if the next governor is still allowed to do that moving forward. Lawmakers unanimously approved a proposed constitutional amendment that would require the governor to provide an explanation for every bill they veto, or it becomes law.
It is an issue for our democracy. It's a misalignment between the branches of government. And so we as an organization don't see a need for pocket vetoes. We want to see that clarity and that transparency from our government and our executive branches.
New Mexico voters will be asked to make that decision during the 2026 general election, the same time they'll be asked to pick a new governor.